coming across that Tower Bridge, coming down Capitol Mall, converging on this building to let this governor know that we need him to sign AB316 into law to protect our streets, to protect our good jobs from dangerous robot trucks. Are you with me? Yeah! All right. We have a lot of distinguished speakers with us today. I'm Jason Rabinowitz, President of Teamsters Joint Council 7, proudly representing close to 100,000 workers throughout Northern California and Northern Nevada, including tens of thousands of professional, safe truck drivers. Our country is at a crossroads because artificial intelligence robots are coming. The corporations who care only about their profits are looking to replace all of our jobs with robots. They want robots driving our trucks. They want robots driving our cars. They want robots writing our TV shows and our movies. They want robots doing every job. There is no job that is safe in our country. And why do they want to do that? Because they want to reduce their labor costs. They want to boost their profits. You think that these greedy tech companies like Waymo and Cruise give one damn about our safety? I think the answer is hell no. Do you think Cruise and Waymo and these greedy tech companies care one damn about our jobs? No, they don't. They just care about their profits. Now, in the Teamsters Union, we're no strangers to technology. We've been the biggest, most powerful transportation union for over a century, since the technology was horses. We have welcomed and adapted to new technology over the years, but we have always demanded that when the new technology comes in, that our jobs are protected, that our safety is protected, that workers are protected. That's the role of the labor movement. That's what our unions are about. And that's what our elected officials should be about. Do you think that these tech companies are going to look out for our safety and our jobs as they roll out their technology? You got the right answer. But who's going to look out for our safety and our jobs? Our unions, the Teamsters Union, the labor movement. And we want our elected officials to stand with us and to look out for our safety and our jobs. Yeah. Right now, not far down the road in San Francisco, those robot cars, those robot taxis are wreaking havoc on the city. They're causing accidents. They're running over people's pets. They're getting in the way of fire trucks and ambulances. The technology is not safe. The technology is not ready. Now what's going to happen when they put that unsafe technology in giant trucks, 10,000, 20,000, 80,000 pounds on the freeway, next to our kids, next to our families? Do we want that? Hell no, that's right. And so we are calling on Governor Newsom to do the right thing. We are calling on Governor Newsom to sign AB316 to make sure that there is a human safety operator, otherwise known as a truck driver, a professional, safe, licensed truck driver in the cab of that truck to make sure that we are safe. Now, it's a common sense thing. That's why 75% of the people of California support it. That's why it's cruised through the legislature with bipartisan, near unanimous support. And now it's on the governor's desk, and the governor has a decision to make. Governor Newsom, if you're listening, and we hope you are listening to the people, you have a decision to make, and we think it should be an easy one. In the labor movement, we have a saying. Which side are you on? Which side are you on, Governor Newsom? Are you on the side of working people, human beings, our safety, our jobs, our communities? Or are you on the side of greedy tech companies and robots? That's what we want to know. And we want to send a message to Governor Newsom that we will remember. And we know you're not interested in running for president, but just in case you change your mind, or if you want to run for Senate or dog catcher or anything in between, we will remember which side you were on. Now, when your ass was on the line, Governor, and you were getting recalled, you came to the labor movement and you said, I want you to be with me. I want your support. Remember that? Were we with him? Right. We were with him. And he promised he would be with us. Well, now our jobs are on the line. Our safety's on the line. Our future is on the line. And we want to know, Governor Newsom, which side are you on? And so it's time, Governor Newsom, to sign that bill. Sign that bill! 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 All right. Now we have some very distinguished speakers with us. Soon we're going to be hearing from our honored guests, including our General President, Sean O'Brien. We're honored that you're with us. But first we're going to hear from the authors of our bill. So it's my pleasure to introduce a brave leader in our legislature who has stood with us on this issue, the author of our bill, Assembly Member Cecilia Aguiar-Curry. Please give her a round of applause.
Bill. Only 6 of my colleagues did not vote for this bill. What's that telling you? Our constituents want this bill signed. My heart and soul is in this bill, and whatever happens, I will continue to fight for our families, for our workers. I will continue to fight for every single one of you. You gotta remember, the big tech guys spend a lot of money for 6 damn votes. They spend millions of dollars against us, right? We're gonna not go down. We cannot go down. So I ask all of you, continue the fight, continue the letter writing, continue giving the pressure on the entire administration. We need this bill. I want every one of you to have a job. I want to continue the jobs. We have to figure out what we're going to do with AI, but it's not today. Today is a short weekend this summer. So, sign that bill. 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 Sign that bill.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Good morning. My name is Chris Griswold. I'm president of Joint Council 42. Representing 24 locals, 165,000 voting Teamsters. Let's talk about the facts of AB316. It sailed through the legislature. No problem. You heard the vote count. Overwhelmingly bipartisan support. What is Gavin Newsom not hearing? How often in this country do we see bipartisan support like this for a bill? Rarely these days, rarely. But this is about safety. This is about saving jobs. Not sure what he doesn't get. But we'll make sure he understands by taking this fight to the door like we are today. You know, about the Teamsters, never forget, and we never forgive. And Gavin Newsom better remember that. Jason said it right. You know, when he was being recalled, he called us. You know, the Teamsters and labor were the number 2 donor to his campaign. You know who was number 1? Big tech. Big tech. So the question is the governor, he's going to stand with the voting Californians, 75% who support this bill, or is he going to stand with people that fill his pocket with money? The nation is watching. The nation is watching what happens in California, and they're watching Gavin Newsom to try to figure out, is he another billionaire, millionaire that wants to stand with corporate America? I think we've had enough shit in this country of that. So let's get him, let's send the signal strong, fight, and remember, we don't forget and we don't forgive. Thank you. Now I have the great honor of introducing Assemblyman Tom Lackey, who is a great supporter of labor and a Republican. He understands the importance of AB 316. That's why he's a principal co-author of the bill.
Okay.
He is a retired CHP officer. He understands the safety on the roads and how dangerous this would be, the implications of having autonomous trucks without a human being in there. I'm honored to introduce him, and please welcome Assemblymember Tom Lackey.
Well, thank you, Teamsters. I can tell you that I never imagined myself standing here joining arms with the Teamsters on such an important issue. I'm very, very thankful to be here joining with you because I am alive because of a truck driver. I can't tell you the story because they only give us 2 minutes to talk. But I'm here to tell you that I know the value of this very, very critical bill, and I've been with you since the very, very beginning. And the reason why, I'm a retired highway patrolman. And I know that there's no such thing and no technology and no person that is 100% accurate 100% of the time. And that's what they're expecting. We're not against technology. We want balance. We want balance because we believe in people and we believe in public safety. Because you all know as you drive these big vehicles down the roadway that when surprises happen, physics is not your friend. And you know what happens is if we don't have experienced drivers and we don't have people with the human ability to react to these unusual circumstances, we need experience and we need trained people. And there's only so much of that that you can copy. You have to have that human element. So I'm very, very proud to join with you in this very common sense approach because we love AI, but it needs to be tempered. And we don't want AI to stand for accident investigation. I want you all to know that I'm very proud to join with you. And let me just ask you, what do we want in AB 316? Is very important to say, and our governor needs to listen to this. Governor Newsom, please do not let the support of technology, and we all know where that region comes from, and please don't let it stand in the way of people and public safety, because please don't ignore the voice of the Teamsters and 75% of California. We want balance, and this bill deserves to be supported. So thank you all for being here, and let's win this thing.
Thank you, Tom Lackey. Sign that bill.
Sign that bill. Sign that bill. Sign that bill. Sign that bill. Sign that bill. Sign that bill. Sign that bill.
All right. Our next speaker, my good friend and brother, a great leader in our union, and also a tireless and powerful leader on the question of saving our jobs and our safety from the AV technology and the robot vehicles. Peter Finn is Vice President of our International Union from the West, Secretary Treasurer, Teamsters Local 856, Head of our Fruit Processing Division. Please give a hand to Peter Finn.
Look, it is great to be here with so many Teamsters and our union brothers and sisters from across the labor movement. Let me ask you a question. Who out there lives or works in San Francisco? look, I happen to live in San Francisco where they are testing the Robo taxi versions of these autonomous vehicles. And as our experience in San Francisco has shown, where these autonomous vehicles regularly interfere with public safety emergency response, this technology is not ready for prime time.
That's right.
Now, the threat to our safety is only going to increase when they put this unproven technology in trucks over 10,000 pounds. And you ask, why are big corporations rushing to put this risky technology on the streets before it's safe? Greed. That's right. It's one simple reason: it's greed. These big corporations want to use autonomous vehicle technology for one reason only, and that's to eliminate jobs. They want to eliminate jobs because they want to lower their labor costs and increase their already excessive profits. And that's why we're here today. It's time for politicians to show us where they stand. Do they stand with big tech, big corporations that care more about profit than they do about people? Or do you stand with working people, with Californians who overwhelmingly want a human operator in a vehicle over 10,000 pounds? And I can tell you where the Teamsters stand. We stand for safe streets, we stand for middle-class jobs, and we stand for a human operator behind the wheel. Now, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce somebody that has proven that you can take on big corporations and you can win. And he has proven that he will hold politicians accountable. Our General President, Teamsters General President, Sean O'Brien.
Fight than today. I want to thank the Assembly members for having the courage and conviction to take on what's right and what should be happening in this country, protecting good middle-class jobs. Thank you. I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your day. I want to recognize our vice presidents from the IBT, but I want to recognize also our General Secretary Treasurer and a 40-plus year truck driver who earned a living driving a truck, Fred Zuckerman, the greatest General Secretary. Now look, this is an important fight. This is an important battle because as a fourth-generation Teamster, we're able to live a middle-class life because our parents and grandparents got up every day and got behind the wheel of a tractor-trailer and provided goods and services, which in turn provided goods and services to the most important thing is your home and your family. Now, if Governor Newsom is confused or conflicted about the decision he has to make, we need to make certain that he understands that not only does he have an obligation to the constituents of California, but he also has an obligation to working people nationwide. If he chooses to not do the right thing, he is sending a message not only to California, but also to every state in this great country that technology should overrule middle-class jobs. We need to be vigilant, and we need to have a strong voice in this fight. He needs to understand not only is California watching this, but we've got 1.3 million members nationwide that are willing to stand up and be his conscience. I know as a parent of two boys that were very rambunctious when they were younger, and Logan, I don't know if you're there yet, you look like you're getting there, but I know in my neighborhood in Boston, I used to allow my children to go out and ride their bikes in the neighborhood. I used to allow them to play street hockey in the street without any fear of technology taking an attack on them, meaning driverless vehicles don't have any boundaries. They don't have any real intelligence. They don't have any ability to act in a situation that may be an emergency situation. So we got to think about the public safety issue as well. The jobs are important, but the public safety is just as important. My brother Frank Lima from the International Brotherhood of Firefighters, the General Secretary Treasurer, he can probably tell you numerous stories of fire apparatus trying to get down the street and cars being blocked and humans getting involved and making certain that the way was paved so that they could go rescue and help save lives. That will not be possible if autonomous vehicles are allowed. Now we have the opportunity today to send a message, not only to Governor Newsom, but every other governor, every other state that wants to embrace technology. Technology is not the way to create middle-class jobs. It's a way and a means to destroy them. Our brothers and sisters at WGA and SAG-AFTRA right now are fighting that artificial intelligence, fighting that technology tooth and nail. And we are going to stand toe-to-toe with our brothers and sisters, side by side, fighting technology in every single industry that it affects. Now, unlike our members, we don't have opportunities to find new jobs. And I want to give a message to Newsom right now. Do not compromise our job while you're trying to find your new job with big tech. We want you, Governor Newsom, to understand that you need to use your intelligence, not irresponsible intelligence, and do what's right by working people in this country. Recently, we took on a colossal giant, UPS, parcel delivery company. What people don't know is that they're also a technological company. A technological company that, if they were given the opportunity, would try to destroy as many jobs as possible. We were able to utilize our 1.3 million members. We were able to utilize our 340,000 members employed at UPS and to fight and protect against autonomous vehicles, protect against artificial intelligence, to ensure that our members employed at UPS had a future that was not going to be replaced by artificial intelligence and robots. Governor Newsom, you need to stand up and do what's right by working people. You need to be the model of how technology should be taken on and fought. Now, we understand that, you've got two choices to make. You can either do what's right by working people, or you can get in bed, which I think you may already be in bed, with the white-collar crime syndicate known as Big Tech in corporate America. But he has to understand. He has to understand he can run, but he can't hide. We'll hunt him down and make certain that we are his conscience moving forward. And think about this. We're coming out of probably one of the toughest times ever America's ever seen. That was the pandemic. And our Teamster members, all 1.3 million of them, were deemed essential workers. We provided goods and services to this country to keep this country moving. We delivered parcels. We stocked shelves. We delivered groceries. We picked up rubbish. We made certain communities were clean. All with total disregard to the health and safety of ourselves and our families prior to there being a vaccination. And Governor Newsom, I don't know if you know this, but Teamsters delivered the first vaccination. So, it's how fast they forget how important and how vital our Teamsters, our workers in America are to provide goods and services to this country. And we need to be rewarded. We do not need to be attacked. And Governor Newsom, I got a message for you. You want to sign this bill? You want to take on 1.3 million Teamsters? You want to take on working people in this country? Put your helmets on and buckle your chin strap. In the state of California. By the way, she doesn't need any introduction anywhere. She is a rising star in the Teamsters organization. She has the courage and conviction every day to take on this fight. In her industry, the motion picture industry, she is fighting lock, stock, and barrel with our brothers and sisters for from the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA. There is no one more dialed in on how important it is to fight against this technology, to make certain that we protect, preserve, and improve as many jobs moving forward. And she is committed to making our union bigger, faster, stronger. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Western Region Vice President, Lindsay Dougherty.
Now, the governor should know he's in big trouble that we had to bring the general president out here to make him do the right thing.
They don't know.
Now, I'm going to say a couple things that are going to make him mad. Now, not as bad as Gavin Newsom's about to make you mad. But first and foremost, Gavin Newsom would not take a meeting with our general president to discuss AB316. Now, this bill is really simple. It's a bipartisan bill. You have Republicans and Democrats coming together because this is the right thing, not just for the working people in the state of California and the rest of the country, but also for the safety of our communities, to protect our children and our families. Now, Gavin likes to talk because he likes the press, he likes flashy, sexy things, which apparently AB316 is not sexy enough for him. But yesterday he talked to CNN and he said, I support WGA and SAG as it relates to their existential stress, as it related to streaming and how it's radically changing the business model as it relates to artificial intelligence. Bullshit, Gavin. Bullshit. And to top it off, he says that he's talking to the WGA. They don't need your fucking help to negotiate their contract, by the way, at all. Then he adds, labor is exercising more muscle out of more fear and stress about the world we're living in. It's not fear, and it's not anxiety, and it's not stress. It's called anger. This is anger. This is why we're here. But you're about to see some fucking rage if you don't stop.
They're not ready. We deliver America.
Logan, earmuffs.
Fuck Gavin Newsom!
Fuck Gavin Newsom, yes. Don't be afraid, because he's saying he's not going to sign this bill, so he's already made his bet. All right, now, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you another Teamster sister, another badass bitch, who has been fighting for the working people for many, many years. She served in the state legislature from 2013 to 2022. We were really sad to see her resign, but then she became the executive director of the California Labor Federation, representing 2 million members in the state of California, Lorena Gonzalez!
Because she's going to say Brothers and sisters, I am so excited to be here representing the 2.2 million union members throughout California. Because I will tell you, there is no issue that is more important to our members right now than technology. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about nurses. We're going to hear from some of the labor leaders here who see this every day in their lives. It doesn't matter if we're talking about state workers or teachers or writers and actors. And it sure as hell doesn't matter if we're talking about Teamsters. Because we know that if we're not at the table with technological changes, we are for fucking dinner. And that's not okay. And for a long time in California, you know, it's been enough to be a Democrat, right? Everybody's a Democrat. And I'm not passing judgment on Gavin Newsom's friends. He can go have dinner with Elon Musk, he can go fucking to cocktail parties and enjoy all of that. I'm not choosing his friends, but I'm telling him this. Not every fucking Democrat is our friend, and not every Republican has to be our enemy, and we will support people who support middle-class workers. Or the dog. How the fuck are they going to do that? I have But technology should make our lives safer, and it should make our jobs better. It should not replace workers, and we're not going to sit here and allow anything to replace good middle jobs in California. We're going to demand more jobs. This is not 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We're not going to forget. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep fighting, because we know, as these unions who are at the bargaining table know, our unions who are pushing every day, when we fight, we win. 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 So win.
That doesn't fit. All right. So our next speaker is from the California Professional Firefighters, who have been a partner in our fight to get AB 316 passed. That not only advocated for us in Sacramento, but also worked with us on local level in multiple cities and counties by sending letters both to the PUC and DMV to talk about the dangers they've experienced with the driverless vehicles. I'm proud to introduce Brian Rice, President of the California Professional Firefighters.
Last time I was here was probably in the 2004 or so, and we were chasing a guy that we all called the Terminator. It's kind of funny that now we're here in real life. My name is Brian Rice. I'm the president of the California Professional Firefighters. I was a firefighter here in Sacramento for 30 years. This is my town. I belong to 2 unions in my life. An almost 40-year member of the International Association of Firefighters, the Sacramento area firefighters, and the California Professional Firefighters. And the day that I made battalion chief, I was voted the representative of Teamsters 150 for Sacramento Metro Fire Battalion. Those are the 2 unions I've been a part of. My brother collects a Teamster pension. My dad collects a retail clerk's pension. And those of you from LA will remember that name from many, many years ago. You are on the menu. Period. High tech sold you out. Here's what I want you to do. Everybody got a free hand? Hold up how many members are in your family. If you need 2 hands, I want to see how many family members are you representing. Do it! Jesus, if you're not going to make noise, make it now. This isn't a crowd of 200 or 300 people. You represent thousands. Men, women, working Californians. We have an assembly that was almost 100% unanimous on this issue. We need our governor to hear us. You can be profane, you can do whatever you want, but the bottom line is we need him to hear us, and we need him to sign this bill. We are not afraid of artificial intelligence. It's already been said. But I'm going to go you one farther, and President O'Brien, I don't want to overstep my bounds. But as a professional firefighter, if we're going to do AV that benefits, or AI that benefits production and all those things, we need 2 Teamsters in every truck. It's bullshit. Come up here, friends. Here's what I see. You need a driver and a tech that can overhaul and override this intelligence and this technology. You know what we need as firefighters? We need somebody that can work with us on that load. We need somebody that we can contact when we have an incident, and I had one, and I've had many industrial incidents. We had a spill of chlorine and muriatic acid. You know what that Teamster driver did before we got there? He moved everybody out of the way. He evacuated the building so that that fume and vapor cloud that we had to deal with was not enveloping human beings. And if you don't know this, hazardous materials are everywhere. We don't need robots driving these materials around. You know what the most dangerous placarded truck is for us? The ones that just say dangerous. And you know who we need the most? Besides the bill of lading, we need the driver. We need him or her to tell us how this thing was loaded, what we need to watch for, where it's located in that load. It all matters. I have been a guy that's had to climb in the back of a truck in a major vehicle accident that we had no idea was fucking burning. But we had to put it out because we had people trapped. Driver was killed. This is not a game. We do need our governor to listen to us. We need that signature. we're hemorrhaging jobs in California. The blue-collar workers, us, our parents, our kids, we matter. Those are our jobs. Those are our jobs in California and across the nation. And it is true, where California goes, everybody else goes. I don't want to be like Florida. I don't want to be like Texas. I want to be a Californian. And we do this. AB316 needs your signature. Middle class and working Californians, we need you to sign that. I don't give a shit what the CPUC says or the DMV. You heard from our brother, the CHP officer. This is forever. And I'm going to tell you something. Go read the literature from the people that are opposed to us. And they'll talk about efficiency. And they'll talk about benefits. You aren't going to see a fucking benefit at all. No cost of goods is going down. You're not going to see things delivered faster. It is not going to make a difference to you, to a consumer, a middle-class working California. It won't matter. Because the people making the money are going to be putting it in their pockets. That's what this is about. Money! And my sister with the screenwriters, it reminds me of the movie Backdraft. It's kind of corny, but it's kind of cool. It's a great movie. When Scott Glenn says to Kurt Russell, they're burning this for money. That's what's happening here. They're doing this for money. They don't give a shit about you or the family or the people that you support when you go to work every single day. Governor Newsom signed AB316. Thank you, brothers and sisters. You only say one thing: labor. We are labor. We are labor. We are labor. All right. I want to introduce my brother from Los Angeles City Fire Department, the General Secretary Treasurer of the International Association of Firefighters. We are so close you can't get a piece of paper between our shoulders. Where I go, Frank goes. Where Frank goes, I go. My brother Frank Lima, Captain 2, RGSP, the International Association of Firefighters.
Thank you, Brian. Governor Newsom, sign that bill. 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 I gotta tell you, it's an absolute honor to be in organized labor. Absolute bigger honor to be a leader in organized labor and fight for the middle class. And to sit here as the General Secretary Treasurer of the International Association of Firefighters, where fighters is part of our name, there's no bigger honor than to stand here on behalf of General President Kelly for you, General President O'Brien, and your members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, and fight this fight for you.
We are in this together!
I was representing the Burbank firefighters a few years ago, and they're a private sector. It's against the law for public safety to strike, unless you're in the private sector. The private sector had Burbank Airport firefighters, and we were up against a strike. And I'll tell you what, we didn't really know what to do because we don't cross that line too much. But we called the Joint Council 42, and about 10 minutes later we got our strike sanction signed back to us. And was something we'll never forget. You were there for us, and we'll always be there for you in solidarity and in unity. Now, this is a safety issue. Over 100 years ago, when labor unions started being formed and organized, had to do with safety. And obviously, the basic rights that unions do, fight for your dignity, respect, pay, health care, retirement, pension, that's a given. But the safety and the jobs
They're going to try to take your jobs. You know what? With my family out there, those trucks on the road, there's only one person that needs to be sitting in that truck. It's a professional union Teamster driving those trucks. Stands in solidarity and unity, and we stand together with you to urge Gavin Newsom to sign that bill.
Sign that bill! 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 Sign that bill!
Thank you for listening. I'm going to apologize to Gavin for my profanity. Just kidding. Not at all, Greedy Gavin. Do you think he can hear us now? Yeah. Do you think Gavin can hear us? Yeah. Now, there's a couple fights that we have there down in Los Angeles. One of them you might have heard of is the writers' strike. The Writers Guild of America has been on strike for
141 days.
141 days. And it is a difficult fight for the writers and for SAG-AFTRA as well. And we have many Teamster members that are out of jobs right now as well because the employers, just like Gavin, can't figure out how to do the right thing for working people. Now, it is my greatest pleasure to introduce to you another badass female labor leader in Los Angeles. She is the president of the Writers Guild of America. She's been paving the way for writers, for young female writers for decades in our industry. And she has been fighting the artificial intelligence fight for Hollywood as well. Meredith Steen!
Teamsters, you are badass. You guys are an inspiration, and I want to tell you, we had been on strike for 141 days, but on day one of that strike, we met Lindsay Dougherty. She came to our membership meeting and she said, I will tell you, if you put up a picket sign, those trucks will fucking stop. And not cross that line, and it's true. And you have helped us so much with solidarity and support, and that's a big reason that we're here right now. We're here with you, Teamsters. WGA is with the Teamsters.
Yeah.
So last week, I happened to be in Washington, D.C. Chuck Schumer had a forum on AI, and I was invited to represent workers and artists, but I was very outnumbered in the room because there were a lot of CEOs of AI companies like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, and our message was, of course, humans. AI can help us, they can't replace us, but the message from a lot of those tech bros was, we have to go faster, we have to deploy, we have to see how it really works. And that is the danger. Going too fast, being reckless, impatient, deploying without safeguarding. AI does not have judgment or fear or human understanding that can react to a surprise or a real-life situation. And no one wants to be out driving on a highway when an automated truck has a glitch and there's no human on board to fix things. That's not safe, that's not smart, that is not common sense. I was shocked to hear that the governor was even thinking about not signing this bill. I had to ask why, I could not understand it. And then I remembered the tech bros that I met last week. Look, we welcome technology in our workplace to assist us, but we want to be safe. We want to be in the hands of humans and not machines. Governor Newsom, you'd better listen to the Teamsters.
Right. That's right.
Governor Newsom, you better listen to Californians. They support this bill. Set an example for other states, for federal policy. You could be the leader here. You guys are great. Thank you for having me here. You can
Building trades have been working hand in hand with us on AB316. The operating engineers particularly have been working with us on the state level, but also throughout the nation. We're pushing this bill throughout the nation. It's a partnership we need. That's why I'm excited to introduce our next speaker. Dan Reddy is an International Vice President of the Operating Engineers and Business Manager of the Operating Engineers 3, the largest construction union in our country. Please welcome him.
Teamsters upper management. And listen to what has been said today. And the reason the operating engineers are here is because we stand together. Anytime there's an attack on labor, there's an attack on all of us, not just one of us. And the only way we get this thing done is that we stand together. We have a lot to lose. This isn't just a Teamster issue. This is a national issue across this country. Everybody's looking at what happens here in California, how this is going to play out. I represent 39,000 members in my 4-state jurisdiction, but there's over 400,000 operating engineers across this country that are waiting to see how this plays out. Because this does not only affect the Teamsters, this will affect everybody in this country. Can you imagine cranes, pump trucks, sweepers, complicated heavy equipment running down our freeways with nobody in them? Unexcusable. We cannot tolerate that to happen. We also represent a large group of Caltrans workers that are out there every day working on the streets and highways of our country. Could you imagine the only thing separating those folks from traffic and these big rigs is usually plastic cones or mobile concrete barriers. The first time one of these supposedly AI-equipped super smart rigs loses control, you think that's going to stop them? It's going to go right through there and kill our brothers and sisters. Then they're going to come to us and go, well, it was your fault. They're going to push fingers like they always do. Say, well, now we got to figure out how do we fix it. We know how to fix it. That's why we're here today. We're telling you how to fix it. Sign the bill. Member for 39 years. I've been fighting from day one, and it's a shame that when we get what we consider a labor-friendly administration in place, that we still got to fight just to survive. It's time these politicians and Newsom understood. We are the people. We are not big corporation. You need to listen to the people, and the people are telling you now what to do. It's time for you to make the educated decision. Support the people of this state. Otherwise, we'll get somebody else that does. Thank you. Thank you for going out and operating engineers. We'll be there with you. All right, sign that bill. 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 All right. Before we bring up our next speaker, we want to remind Gavin Newsom about who votes. Teamsters vote? Yeah. Teamsters vote? Teamsters win. Teamsters vote? Teamsters vote? Teamsters win. All right. As far as I know, robots don't have the right to vote as of yet. We're going to keep it that way. So we want to remind Governor Newsom to sign that bill and stand with people, with voters, not with the robots. All right, next up. We're very honored today to have with us the Executive Director of California Nurses Association and National Nurses United, Bonnie Castillo. Please put your hands together.
I just can't tell you, it's such an honor to be here with all of you today and your rage and your resistance. And I wanted to just kick things off by giving a huge shout out to the Teamsters, all of you, for reaching that historic UPS agreement. Round of applause to International Teamsters President Sean O'Brien for his stellar stand in solidarity with Teamsters to get AB316 across the finish line and with that governor's signature, because we know
We know that without a Teamster in every truck, that we as nurses will be dealing with the aftermath of those treacherous, horrible accidents. That doesn't have to happen, and technology, as so many have said, will not replace human judgment. And I can tell you, we face this truth every single day when our employers try to replace us with an algorithm or artificial intelligence, as if nursing, hands-on nursing care could be replaced with a robot. It can't be done. Independent judgment is critical for every single job, and ensuring, certainly for us, that our patients are safe, but for that every Californian is safe. Your judgment as vehicle operators, professional judgment, and it's critical to every single one of our health and safety. So no matter how much corporations want to pad the bottom line, right? They want to pad the bottom line by cutting corners on staffing, minimizing. They want to prioritize our public health and safety, the safety of our families for their bottom line. We won't let that happen. And I just have to tell you, we do not want a 10,000-pound autonomous vehicle driving around on California roads without a single human being inside. That kind of risk is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. So, the 100,000 members of the California Nurses Association and the 250,000 members of National Nurses United stand by the Teamsters. We will be there, and we will continue standing by your side until the law says that a trained union human operator is in every single big rig. Our communities and our patients deserve no less. Thank you.
So we just heard that Gavin's on his way from the governor's mansion to come greet all of us Teamsters. Just kidding. He made sure conveniently that he's not here today because he doesn't have the balls to show up to the working people in the state of California. Now, I'm here to introduce another friend of mine, another labor advocate. He has been fighting negotiations against the major employers in Hollywood, some that include some of Gavin's butt buddies like Amazon. You've heard of them, Jeff Bezos, you know him? I didn't hear you. And then we have Todd from Netflix, another great guy. And then we also have Apple. You know Apple? Another tech company, right? That's right. But he's been with SAG-AFTRA for 23 years. He is the National Executive Director for SAG-AFTRA, which represents 160,000 members. And he's also the Chief Negotiator, my brother from another mother, Duncan Crabtree, Ireland.
Come on, guys. Teamsters have amazing leaders. All of you guys are awesome. To all of the Teamsters out there, all of you, you are such an inspiration. Thank you for being here fighting this battle. Thank you so much on behalf of our 160,000 members across this country and around the world. Thank you for having our backs, being at our side in our own fight against unfair use of artificial intelligence, along with a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on in this drug. And to Meredith, your remarks were amazing. Meredith, the president of the Writers Guild and SAG-AFTRA side by side since they went on strike back in May and we went on strike in July. And as she said, they've been out 141 days today. We've been out 68. And you know what? That's 141 days that shouldn't have happened. That's 68 days that shouldn't have happened. These companies would have just come to the table and been fair. But today we're here to talk about about this bill, AB316. And I just want to say that well, actually, before that, I do want to say an extra special thank you to Lindsay, which I didn't do yet. Lindsay Dougherty. I'm not going to describe her the way she describes herself, but I completely agree with that. She is a badass. We'll say that much of it. And she has been just leading everything in Hollywood. We really appreciate it. So there have been this development of new technologies, and we're not against new technologies per se. There are technologies that have helped all of us. There are technologies that are out there that can assist human beings in doing our jobs. But what we are not here for is corporate greed, running amok, taking new technology and using it to replace people. New technology should be used to lift people up, not tear people down. And that's what we're all about. That's what we're about in our strike, and that's what AB316 is about. This is a law that's so reasonable. I totally agree with the others who said, how is it possible that the governor isn't going to sign this law? This is so obvious. This is why the legislature passed it so handily, and absolutely it needs to be enacted. You know, in Hollywood, the studios and the streamers want to use AI to try and replace writers and to replace actors. And in the transportation industry, these big corporations want to use unproven self-driving technology to replace drivers that not only eliminate jobs, but endanger all of us. And as a parent of 5 kids myself, I can tell you I completely agree with Lorena when she said, as a parent, she's not going to be out there letting these trucks, look at those trucks behind us. You want to have one of those trucks out there being driven with no driver in it around your kids? Oh, and you know, people think that AI is infallible. People think that AI is perfect. Well, let me just tell a brief story. Jason Renowitz and I went to law school together, just down the street from here at UC Davis. And, but if you go ask ChatGPT where I went to law school, it tells you that I went to Harvard. I did not go to Harvard. I have never gone to Harvard. And it tells you this with perfect conviction. So this is something that doesn't matter. So imagine putting that kind of intelligence in charge of one of those trucks and sending it out on the highway.
Hell no!
So I just want to say, Governor Newsom, it is time for you to sign this bill. And it is time for you to step up and take control of what is happening and make sure that we do not expose the people of California to this risk, that we do not expose the Teamsters of California to a loss of jobs. I want to also just take a moment to say that he should also sign SB 799, which is the bill that would make striking workers eligible for unemployment insurance. Just like they are in the great states of New York. I know there's New York Teamsters here, and the great state of New Jersey, as well as New Jersey Teamsters here. We should have that law in California too. The legislature has done it. What we need is Governor Newsom to sign it. But the bottom line is, when profits take precedence over people, that's how we end up in a dystopia, like the one that we're at risk of having. And we need leaders like Governor Newsom to step up and do the right thing and sign the bill. Sign the bill. Sign
Thanks to Duncan Crabtree, Ireland. All right. How are we feeling? All right. We're doing great. Now, our last and maybe our most important speaker, a professional driver, a solid waste heavy hauler, member of Teamsters Local 70. Please put your hands together for Mike Devaney.
Fucking A right we are. Even the nice lady said fuck, that's fantastic. I was worried I operate better when I'm angry, so that's perfect. Alright. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. My name is Mike Devaney. Californians are united in support of AB 316. Democrats, Republicans, Independents from Humboldt County to the Mexican border. You've spoken with one voice, one message. 8 days ago, on September 11th, our senators overwhelmingly passed this bill by a vote of 36 to 2. 36 to 2. Right. You spoke, they listened. And now the bill heads to the governor's desk. He's what, in New York right now? You can fucking stay there as far as I'm concerned. But he can auto-pen it. Anyway. I'm here today because Gavin Newsom has signaled his intent to turn his back on the safety of 39 million Californians and veto AB316. Not only putting every California driver in danger, but opening that door to big tech to eliminating thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs. Safety matters to me. I've been a commercial driver for nearly 30 years. And I know that some of the most deadliest moments, as you guys do, are things that come up from right out of nowhere, right in front of you, middle of the night, middle of the day. And I'll tell you what, it takes intuition, experience, just plain guts to deal with some of these things. Steering tires blow out. You want an automatic truck trying to figure out how to fucking steer when a tire goes out at 55 miles an hour? I don't. Hell no. Load shift, binders break. Oh, if we forgot about black ice, it hasn't forgotten about us. It's still going to be waiting up there on those roads. You know, a soulless, potentially 80,000-pound machine next to you that doesn't understand life, let alone value it, doesn't fear and has no conscience. California unilaterally says no. Right? Aurora Innovation and Kodiak Robotics actually have humans in the trucks. They have drivers in these vehicles they're testing right now on these roads because they feel it's a key safety component. So in a lot of ways, they agree with AB316 until it's time to sell it and it cuts into their profits because that's their real motive. They're not selling safety, they're in the business of selling. Safety is something you never give up on. Danger always keeps on going, safety always has to evolve. And I assure you, that's not their interest. Unmanned, these machines will still be involved in deadly collisions. People will die from the actions or inactions of those trucks. And going forward, Governor Newsom, those deaths will be forever tied to you. Everywhere you go, everywhere you try to establish a new job. As I said in the Chronicle 2 days ago, you know, we're stubborn elephants. We never forget. We never forget. It's not too late though. He can approve AB316. It doesn't stop innovation. It provides reliable guidance to embrace this new technology. Safety is ever evolving, and AB316 is the most human thing we can do. At the very least, it's the least that we must do. Anyway, thanks for coming today, folks.